Okay, this is a Sonar 13 by 5. It's actually like about 10 years ago. I gave Sonar my 50 cents about something that I was looking for in like a snare drum, because I wanted to tune the snare very high. I sometimes tune it much higher than I do here, but because I go for some drum stuff, I don't tune it that high. But usually the problem about tuning a drum head too high is it like the shell buckles. So it's like when you scream and your vocal cords are extended. You lose control and it chokes. So you go da 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 da. So it's at that point a snare drum starts to sound not like a snare drum but like a wood block basically. Right? You lose all the crispness. So I needed a shell that is really rigid and doesn't give in to like the tuning. Because I have to be fair, it has a little bit to do with like the snare drum too. So this is a 27 ply birch kit. If you drop it on someone's head, it is a murder weapon. It's very 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 heavy. That snare drum has that type of sound. I'll give you a demo and I'll just tune it up a little higher than it is now. So with this sound, that's really like the jungle sounds. Okay, so that sound with that shell, I can get what I do is the bottom head. I loosen the corresponding screws next to the snare strainer. Because that makes it, I don't tighten the snare if I want a shorter attack. I tighten it just where it's, where it doesn't, if you tighten it too much, it starts to change the pitch of the snare. It goes, so I back off with that, and then I loosen those 4 screws. I go down, and that shortens the sound. I mean, basically, the higher the tuning of the bottom head, the more response of the snares, like the more you're gonna have. You can actually also control, if you have too much sympathetic vibrations between like the toms, and you don't like that, you can use that same trick. So I do that, and I don't really choke the snares too much. And then the next thing that I do is I use an Evans hybrid head. And that's kind of like one of my newer toys. It's actually pretty cool because it's, the industry has been making Kevlar heads for like a while now. Almost, I think 20 years or like more. But this is a hybrid between Kevlar and Mylar. So it's not just, it feels more like a real drum head, basically. Where like a Kevlar head has it's kind of this bulletproof vest feeling, It's a little bit hard to play, so this has more flex, and it's easier to roll on it. Like a Kevlar head at a high tuning, it feels like a glass tabletop, right? So this is a very good solution for what I do. It's not really a mainstream sound. I mean, I wouldn't use that head probably on a jazz gig, but for what I do, this is pretty happening. Yeah, and engineers love it too because it's very controlled. It doesn't have a lot of overtones and rings. It's very, So yeah, and then I try to play it well. And which also is kind of important.